mic on. Test 1, 2, 3. Rahimah, and I am from Casper Event, an event management student from UiTM Puncak Alam, and I will be your moderator for today. Today we will discuss about roles of Myceb, an event industry player in sustaining Malaysia as a popular business event hub after pandemic of COVID-19. This webinar is being held to provide some insight of event management industry after 2 years hit by COVID-19 pandemic. In addition, it provides a bit of enlightenment to every player in related industry to know how to manage event and function in post-COVID-19 era. After going through the COVID-19 pandemic, which was quite challenging for the entire business industry, especially MICE industry, the economy slowly opened up its operation once Malaysia reached 80% of its citizens fully vaccinated. The high vaccination rate has led to a decrease in fatal COVID-19 cases, and the government has reopened the economy gradually and eased movement restriction throughout the country. As a result, all industry regarding to our topic today. On my right is our specialist invited, the Chief Executive Officer of Malaysia Convention and Exhibition Bureau, Myceb, yang berbahagia Dato Sri Abdul Khani bin Daud. Dato Sri Khani was also appointed as ICCA Board of Director representative for Asia Pacific region effective for year 2020 to 2022. Dato Sri is not new to Myceb. He has been in the board of director of Myceb since 2017. He is well aware how Myceb works. Previously, Dato was the Director General of Islamic Tourism Centre, and for many years he holds important position in tourism Malaysia. How are you today, Dato?
Alhamdulillah. Terima kasih.
Thank you. And next to Dato is Mr. Amos Y.C. Wong, Executive Director of Malaysian Danish Business Council. Mr. Amos' professional career spanned from 1971 to 2018, covering a diverse business environment, and also has experience in MICE industry from 2007 until now. It is a great opportunity to have you here, Mr. Amos. How are you today? I really hope both of our important panels are in the pink of health today. Before we start, I have a small request to all the audience that have a question to our panel for our speaker today. I hope you can type your question in the chat box below. We hope everyone can participate in this webinar, and we will try to answer as many questions as possible. Can we start now?
Sure.
Without further ado, let's hear from both of our panels a little bit about the current situation of MICE industry in Malaysia. So, Dato Sri, what is the current situation of MICE or business event industry right now?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I would like to apologize to all of you for the delay. It's because of me. I arrived late, a bit late, but that is not my intention. I'm here to speak to you all together with Amos about the current situation and also the future of MICE or business event. Yes. For our country. As you all aware, we have to stop, or rather not to organize any event since March last year. Yes. Right? Until a couple of weeks ago, not months, where we had a few events being organized. Early of the year, maybe in April, we opened up a bit. We have exhibition been organized. Home Deck was organized at KLCC. But after that, the government gave an order for us to close the business again, and then they give a permission to now organize a local events, right? Including interstate traveling, which open to the economic business to all. Then I just attended 3 events in the past 3 weeks, right? First was the ASEAN and Third Global Wound Care Conference at Sangway last 2 weeks, and then I was in Penang for the business event at Penang 21 later of last week, and then I was also at KLCC for ITAC conference yesterday. ITAC. So this has been done hybrid, through hybrid platform, which means that the business is now open up again, but it's only restricted to our local participants, right? We are waiting from the government to give a green light for the international travelers to come in, so that we would be able to host the international delegates to our country, which we as a bureau and also the industry have been waiting for, because for other countries like Colombia, I just came back from Colombia for ICA conference, and also in Spain, and in Netherlands last month, attending UFI conference. They already fully open, though now when the Omicron came in, some of them closed their borders again. But basically, the current situation is still not certain, still uncertain, because of the new variant keep coming in, to disrupt the plan to open up our border. In fact, our business. Hopefully, Omicron in Malaysia, though we already have first case, it won't, stop the government, or it won't give reason to the government to shut the business again. So that we all can, or the business people can continue with their business with the strict protocol or SOP that been placed or that already in place for us to follow. Yeah.
Alright, it's nice to hear that MICE industry still, even not still in the locally.
Not domestic, yeah. We concentrate on domestic delegates first, but with the hybrids participant from the international speakers and also international delegate. They come in online. Yeah.
Okay. Up until now, how much has the business event industry in Malaysia lost to the pandemic COVID-19 in terms of number of event cancelled or potential GDP contribution from MICE that had been lost?
Well, we totally lost the business for the last 2 years. Put it that way, right? This year, no business at all. I mean, few only, but we consider it's total loss of business as far as business event is concerned. Last year, it's only up to March. We managed to organize some of the events, and then a couple of events in between after we government relaxed the restriction. In totality, in 2020, we're supposed to organize 100 over events, Myceb alone, meaning we already agreed to subvent or support the events, 100 over events. And this year, we're supposed to, after many, negotiation, we're supposed to organize another 80 events for this year. Some have been cancelled, by the organizer because of the pandemic. So in total, if you look at the whole industry, the contribution to the government, with to the economy from our delegates' arrival that we're supposed to receive last year and this year would contribute to around 4 billion ringgit to our economy. This is the total loss that we got, that we from the pandemic. So hopefully next year, once the border is open, we could be able to bring back the delegates to the country and then contribute back to our economy and then, of course, to our GDP. If you know, tourism contributing around 14.9% to our GDP in totality. So business event is part of the tourism industry as a whole. So if you look at the total expenditure contributed by the delegates coming to Malaysia, it's actually 4 times higher than leisure travelers. So leisure travelers is spending 3,200 ringgit, per visitor coming to Malaysia. This one was in 2019, so just time for that. The delegate coming from the industry. We're supposed to receive around 500,000 delegates last year, and another 500,000 this year. So just time how much amount that the country has, lost.
Okay. So, Mr. Amos, how do you foresee the future of the business event industry? How can you predict the business event industry next year or another next year? How can you predict?
Well, the entire industry is depending on visitors, delegates. With the pandemic still in a very uncertain situation, the future will still be very challenging. All right, for local organizers, local hosts, it is a very challenging and also very financially very risky venture. All right, therefore, the number of international delegates coming to Malaysia would not be as high as the organizer hopes for. In those days, in-person meeting of say 1,000 delegates, you'll probably get maybe only 20%. Right? The rest could be virtual. So it's going to be tough. Also because of the safety and social distancing, the venue room size, the capacity is basically utilization is 50%. Right? So the numbers will never be that high.
Because even though that most economy are open up, but still we have to follow the SOP in the business event. And did you say that incoming business events still online? Do you predict that incoming is the business online, or now we have hybrid event just like this?
It will take the form of hybrid, no doubt. Right? Until the pandemic is under strict control. Right? So it all depends on
it depends on the government restrictions to follow. Yes. Okay. With the loosening of restriction, because right now the SOP or restriction of the government quite loosening. Physical event can now be done under state SOP, but still have the physical event, but have to follow the SOP. Will there be a big MICE event that involve a large crowd coming soon?
Okay. Well, in our business event, just to highlight that in Malaysia, purpose-built venue just for the conference exhibition, we have about 29. together. Okay, we have about unique venues around 95 over, and then we have hotels as well. So these assets, was built for conferences, exhibitions, meetings, corporate meetings, and also to receive incentive travelers coming into the country. So as a bureau, we are confident that after a while, through our marketing strategies and also our planning, that we would be able to bring back delegates to our country. Though we have a lot of challenges now because of people would prefer maybe to go online for those who are scared to travel, as what Mr. Amos mentioned just now. And then some maybe I give you an example like Google. They don't really now let their workers or employees to travel for any conference. They encourage or they ask them to go online because they are an online business, right? So this may reduce the number of participants coming into our country or our events. Definitely, with the social distancing that we impose by the government, the capacity of the venue would be reduced to 50%, right? So this is another aspect that we have to look into. But as a bureau, our role is to continually encourage event to keep coming to Malaysia, in order to create job opportunity, bringing economic impact to our business and economy in Malaysia. Yeah.
So how about Mr. Amos? Mr. Amos, is there any large crowd coming for the MDBC? You are the planning large crowd physically, or if not physically, are still doing online?
From MDBC is a business council. It's not directly involved in organizing international conferences. Nevertheless, we have plans, of course, to bring in potential investors into Malaysia, all right? But those meetings will be small in numbers, less than 100 pax. But those are purely for investment purposes.
Putri, in terms of, if I may add, Mr. Amos, in terms of the capacity of the event, or you're asking about the large number coming into the country. Yes, we do have for next year. In fact, we already won a bid to host Global Entrepreneur Congress in Malaysia that would bring a minimum of 16,000 delegates to our country. This is supposed to happen early or first quarter of next year. We in fact already won 117 events, conferences, meetings, congress, exhibitions for next year until 2030. 2022 to 2030. So this consider a large number of participants that coming into the country. Some of the event would bring around 4,000 participants. If we open up our border next year.
Okay. Since we are adapting with the presence of COVID-19 and even prepare to enter the endemic phase, what do both of our panels think about rising trends of virtual event or hybrid event? Like,
do I answer first?
Yes, I believe hybrid events will continue to take place until the pandemic comes under control. So, but the cost to organize hybrid event, it's not going to be cheap.
Yeah.
Right? So just be prepared for it.
Oh, so, because the business event cannot get the profit more just like physical before, right? So
Yes.
yeah.
It's a yes and no answer really, because hybrid events may open up more participants on a global basis. But here again, it also depends on the time zone, right? But there have been, proven figures to show that the number of participants can be quite large, 3 to 4 times larger than an in-person event, right? So in that aspect, you could attract or continue to attract sponsors to support the event. So that's the most important, to get enough sponsors to support the event for you to justify the costs.
Yeah, I think the hybrid event going to continue for many years to come. I'm not sure when it's going to end, because after a while, you don't want to sit in your room or you're in front of your laptop to meet people, which that is why I make my travel to Colombia for our congress or conference, and also to Rotterdam in Netherlands for conference, because we have to meet people in order to create better understanding, a relationship between your organization and their organization. Sometimes though we have agreed to do something, yet we still need to go and meet people. So this situation will come back because a lot of us prefer to meet in person rather than just through online. So I think for future, because we are talking to all the students, you may feel that this business event is no longer an important subject for them. But for me, I like to assure you that there are a lot of rooms for you to go into this line, because it offers you a lot of opportunity if you really focus on what you are doing. Similarly, like previously, when we started to promote our tourism industry, it seems a lot of people rather skeptical whether tourism is actually good for their future. Definitely, after many years, it been contributing a lot to our economy, up to 14.7% or 9% of our GDP. So this is a lot.
Yes.
It's creating 3 point something million jobs. So in our strategic marketing plan that we have formulated 21 to 2030 for business event, we wanted to generate a lot more employment opportunity for our students, so that they can come in and work in this business. You can be a general manager of our convention center, KLCC. They need a lot of good managers there, in order for us to host the high-class international event. And then we also can talk about hosting the World Cup, and also World Expo. These are the things that have not been, or maybe Olympic, Amos, in the future. So this is part of the business events, scope, potential that you may have in the future.
All right. All right. So what a fruitful discussion that we just had. I believe that's it for our first sessions. We gained a lot of insight about the event industry from both of our panels. We are going to have a little break. You may go freshen up or do whatever you want to do first. Do come back for our second session where we are going to discuss more interesting topics. So take a 5 minutes.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The new normal business event for first session is now ended. The exhibition hall will be closed for disinfection and all visitors are required to leave the hall now. Thank you for attending new normal business event.
We're all familiar with the greeting Selamat Datang, and today it means so much more because we literally mean the safe in Selamat. From intimate studios to world-class convention centers, with globally recognized capabilities and infrastructure, as well as excellent service standards. Malaysia's extraordinary measures in responding to the COVID-19 pandemic has proved effective and is acknowledged as one of the best in the world. You will have a safe welcome because safety is a priority for our meetings, conventions, and exhibitions. We observe international health and safety protocols to ensure the health and well-being of all delegates and guests. As Malaysians living in the new normal of today, we heed the call of our fellow compatriots to come together in support of local businesses to revive our economy. Tourist hotspots and popular sightseeing locations take special measures to ensure the health and safety of visitors. No matter where you travel in Malaysia, whether from Kuala Lumpur to Malacca, and Johor, or to Penang, and Langkawi, or even across to Sabah and Sarawak. When you are welcomed with greetings of Selamat Datang, rest assured that it is selamat and safe to meet in Malaysia.
So, when you're ready for your meetings and incentives, conventions, or exhibitions, we are ready to welcome you and your delegates. Come to enjoy Malaysia's world-class facilities seamlessly blended with our traditional hospitality to make you feel safe and comfortable. Selamat datang and let's meet in Malaysia.
Welcome back everyone. If you just enter our webinar, hi, I'm Putri Rahima from Casper Event, and with us we have Dato Sri Abdul CEO of Myceb, and Mr. Amos Y.C. Wong, Executive Director of Malaysia Danish Business Council. In our first sessions, we discussed about current situation of business event industry in Malaysia. So now in our second session, we are going to discuss more about Myceb and event industry player as helping hand in Malaysia MICE industry. So Dato Sri, Myceb has introduced a few plans to help the business event industry player in recovering after the pandemic impact. Can Dr. Khani elaborate on said plan?
Well, after the country was hit by the pandemic, 17th of March 2020, where the government ordered all of us to be on MCO, right? Everybody had to stay at home. Business got to close. The business start, get the pinch of the pandemic. Everybody not sure what to do, and then after it carry on for many months, businesses start, screaming about their future already, because they have lost a lot of opportunity, a lot of businesses along the way. So before 2020, Myceb's focus was only to bring in the international delegates, right? Meaning our role is to do a lot of biddings and promotions abroad, right? And then locally, we have the associations, right? By giving them subvention to organize the event in Malaysia, or to bring the event to the country and then organize in Malaysia. So, which we managed to bring a lot of events to the country. Up to 2019, we have around 2,300 over events, that we brought into the country, that bring in about 1.3 million delegates, contributing around 16.8 billion to our economy, up to 2019. And then we have lost about 4 billion, 2020, 2021, right? We have lost for both of the year. So we look at how we can actually continue to look at the industry locally, because in any country, if you have a strong domestic product or strong domestic support, your business will sustain, right? It will sustain. So that is why we have decided to also look at domestic, whereby we introduce our campaign to make sure our corporates, businesses in the country to host or to organize the event locally. You know that a lot of companies before the pandemic, they organize the meetings abroad, they bring their delegates abroad. Incentive also, we send a lot to overseas, thousands. So now we're looking at how we can actually give focus to domestic. We introduced in 2020 a Meet in Malaysia campaign. Okay, first we only have two segment, two focus is to help the locals and also to help the international PCOs to bring event to the country. But last couple of months we introduced another one called Let's Meet Now, meaning we encourage the local to do it, the campaign, after the government open up the businesses, do your business event now in the country to help the local. So this is one of the program that we have to actually help our local industry to sustain. Besides that, of course, the government have a lot of assistance through HRD Corps, through the ministries, in the wage assistance, to make the business keep afloat, and running if we open up our business again.
Alright, okay. For Mr. Amos, what about MDBC? Did MDBC plan to utilize the initiative that Myceb is?
Not specifically for MDBC, but for Masios, right? The industry representative, definitely their members would be very interested to utilize all these incentive provided by the government. Of course, these are all targeted locally, right? Although Myceb has also initiated, continue to initiate to attract international association meetings to be held here through bidding processes. But nevertheless, whatever incentive that is provided to Malaysian companies, organizers, to attract more local events taking place will be welcomed by all their members.
Okay. Myceb not only help promote Malaysia as a business event hub, but also give consultation and help in event pitching. Does international event pitching still happen now that some travel bans are lifted?
Yes, we continue to do our bidding or pitching together with the associations. Last year we managed to secure events, about 21 events last year. And this year we also already won many events altogether that span from next year until 2030, I mentioned. In total, from next year until 2030, we already have 117 events, 117, 117 events in total, including the one that we won during the pandemic. So we keep continue helping the industry, the associations, to bid for event. In fact, last couple of weeks we already won additional 3 events to be organized in Malaysia, starting from next year.
Do the MICE industry or business event industry has been given the green light to resume operation? The COVID-19 pandemic is expected to transform the event landscape like never before. It is predicted that the new norm for the MICE sector to have SOP in every event. how do Myceb ensure that the SOP are strictly followed by the participant and the organizer themselves?
Okay, I've been saying this not only to the industry but also to the government that business event actually organized and attended by professionals, right? So SOP also developed by the organizers and also by the industry. Okay, we come up with SOP for MICE, for business event, for the government to announce. And then we also already work with the industry to have or to come up with SOP for business event travel planner, safe travel planner. So this event, business event safe travel planner is comprises of industry, business event industry, airlines, and also hotels and travel agents. They're working together for us to make sure that everyone follow this SOP, right? So as far as I'm concerned, this business event industry are managing and organized by professionals. So we are not too worried about a cluster creating from business event program. So far, since the business event being open, thank God that we haven't got any cluster coming in from our business event. So this is good thing. And then we as a bureau keep continuing telling the industry, please strictly follow the SOP. So in terms of crowd controlling also, we should be able to manage it well. So that's why if there is some problem with that, then the authority should take stern action against the organizers. So we don't want to create a problem to the industry.
Yeah, I believe that most of the organizer now really particular in SOP and registration movement, because we don't want to create any cluster from the business event.
Correct.
So that the business event can stay continue for the forward year.
Yeah.
So for MDBC, how different is the SOPs of Danish MICE sector compared to Malaysian? SOP in Danish and in Malaysia.
Well, definitely from the Danish side, they will follow whatever SOP that is implemented by the government. But for the Malaysians members themselves, the local organizers, definitely they will follow all the SOPs required. It's their responsibility to ensure safety for everyone, for the organizers, for the participants, even for the venue operators. So all of them are working together to ensure everything is safe and in compliance with the SOP.
During the first pandemic, we are not prepared with any backup plans for the business to survive, and it has caused a huge effect to the economy. Surely we should have learned something from what had happened. So what are the backup or contingency plans for the future if anything, natural disaster or another pandemic happens?
Well, for me, if I can go first, in any business, a good businessman will have a backup plan. Yeah, I'm not from business, but almost from business. So backup plan meaning you have reserve to sustain for certain, your bad year, because you're doing business. So this had happened in 2001, if you still remember, where the country was hit by SARS,
Yes.
right? So we have to close our business for many months, but it's not so long as as now at this time. I think about 9 months. I was in Singapore then, So the border is closed. We cannot go out. We cannot, touch something without cleaning your hand or not. Same thing happened. But this take longer period to recover. Almost 2 years now. So the backup plan should be always in a business. But as for the government, we are the bureau. Our backup plan is always there because we have to have our alternative. That's why we come up with our plan, strategic marketing plan for 2021 to 2030. So in any case that we have a disruption like this, then we will amend the plan, the strategy, for us to bring back the business that we have lost, right? In terms of business loss, I think Amos maybe can explain further how to back up.
What are the backup plan for the next?
Well, during my time managing international conferences or congresses, we normally encourage our client to purchase events cancellation policy. But after 2 years of the pandemic, now the insurance company don't insure against disease, right? They will continue to insure in terms of civil unrest, okay? If the speaker don't turn up, right? The insurance company will still insure against such incidents, but no more in terms of diseases. So the risk is really high for the organizers. Like Dato says, you must have enough financial resources to sustain your operation. Of course, the other aspect of organizing such international event is to scale down the expectation. Right? In terms of huge numbers, you just have to scale down your expectations. Okay. Then that is the only way to ensure you have sustainability, right? In the business events.
Mr. Amos, please, can you elaborate some of your recovery plan in 2022?
Well, as I said, I've already left the industry, but for the industry players, definitely in ensuring the safety, they will introduce contactless registration, right? These are not new technologies, they are existing. Like example, QR code, when you receive confirmation of your payment, all right, you will receive an acknowledgement with a QR code. You go to the machine, scan the QR code, and then they print out a name badge, all right? So that is to avoid a lot of human contact. The venue would probably install a facial recognition system, right? But in terms of technology-wise, less interaction with human touches, existing technologies are there. No need to have new technologies.
Yeah.
How about Myceb recovery plan in 2022?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, that we already come up with a strategic marketing plan for 21 to 23. We would do some amendment, adjustment to that, because we already when we come up with that plan, it's actually during the pandemic. But we didn't expect that it would prolong until end of the year, this year. We already launched last year our strategic marketing plan. We did not expect that the pandemic will prolong until now, probably until first quarter of next year. So we will make some adjustment to our program, but to our marketing plan. But as I said earlier, we now continue to bid for event, because our business is not 2-3 months in the future. Our business year to come. Okay, that's why I said we already have events that we want in 2030. That going to happen in 2030. We already have the event. Yeah, we already have in that 117 event that we have won so far, 1 or 2 going to happen in 2030. So, you know, we will continue because hopefully this pandemic will end soon, and then we could come back or go back to normalcy in the near future. As far as marketing is concerned, we will continue to do our campaign to bring the events to our country. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Dato, and Mr. Amos for the insightful sharing. Now we all know that there is a plan for business event industry in the future. We really hope that the event player who have affected by the pandemic can get a backup in the industry and continue thriving through. Slowly but surely, our industry will going back to the normal or even better with the new technology and the new SOP. Maybe our speaker, Dato Sri and Mr. Amos, would like to say something to our audience. Some of them are our event player and some of them are students from the event management, which will be future event player. You have something to say? Start with Mr. Dato Sri.
Okay, as I said earlier, you know, this business event will continue to be our main focus as far as tourism is concerned, tourism industry is concerned, and as far as our economic contribution is concerned. As a bureau, we will continue to promote events to keep coming to our country. We have secured some of the events, in fact, and then we definitely being you know, one of the best destination for events and also for tourism, for leisure tourism. We will be able to continue getting a new conferences, congress, convention, in fact exhibition also to our country. And then we also confident that Malaysia going to be you know, focus destination in the future for this segment as well as for the sporting international event, because that is also part of our focus. And as far as incentive travelers in, traveling is concerned, we also continue to focus in this segment as well. So for the industry, the government has come up with a lot of assistance to help you know, them to keep afloat in their business after we allowed to open. And for the students who are graduating from business event, I'm sure you still have a lot of future in this segment, business event segment. As I mentioned earlier, we have 29 Big 4 convention venue, state of the art like KLCC, Myceb, you know, the latest one. We have also SP Setia in Penang, many more around the country. We have in Sabah, BCKK, in Kuching, in Sarawak, you know. So this venue have to be filled up by delegates. So that is our role to bring them coming to Malaysia. So for future, the students that are graduating from this event management, right, should look also upgrading their skills by becoming a professional, you know. If you are intending to continue working on the business event, you should focus on getting your professional qualification for you to become a PCOs, become a general manager of our venues, you know, because managing a venue you need professional qualifications so that we can bring because
Mr. Amos, do you have anything to say
For
to
sure.
the audience?
Especially for the graduates and so on. Business events industry is a long-term business. Okay, on a global basis, association meetings, which is really part of the whole business events industry, they have to plan every year where they want to hold their annual general meeting or hold their conference or congresses. Okay, so for sure there will be prospects for graduates coming out. Right? Like Dato says, we have already secured 117 events until 2030. Alright, so it's 10 years ahead. And local associations are constantly bidding with the support of Myceb for international meetings, okay, coming to Malaysia. So for sure there will be job prospects, not only within the conference industry, also within big international companies, particularly pharmaceutical companies. They have regular internal meetings that they organize. They even have actually, like Dr. Sri says, professional conference organizers. They employ this particular person just to organize internal meetings. Alright? And this can take place all year round, not only in Malaysia but also regionally. So the prospects for business events, graduates from your UiTM, there are possibilities. Okay,
Yeah.
so don't be disheartened with the pandemic,
Yeah.
right? Just go ahead.
Oh, so, the audience have a question for the panels. First question, as we are moving toward the endemic phase, my question is, do you think that the business event industry in Malaysia are able to bloom like before the pandemic happened?
well, I mentioned earlier that in 2001 the tourism industry was hit by SARS, right? No business coming in at that time because no travelers, because our business based or depending on people traveling, right? Definitely there is some adjustment to it. To go back to as what it was before, it will take a longer period for us to do remedial process, recovering campaign, whatnot, to create confidence, to bring back the confidence level to the potential delegates or conferences to coming into the country. So this will take a long process, a good marketing strategy, of course with the right funding by the government and the right supports to the industry. Inshallah, we will get back what we it used to be before. Yeah, I experienced this by myself because I was really involved in the campaign to restore our business and confidence of our destination in 2001, and then we managed to bring back to in fact better than it was before. Yeah, hopefully in 2-3 years time we would be able to bring back the business again to our country, inshallah.
So, thank you for the answers, Dato' Sri. Next question is, how about Mr. Amos? Do you think that the event industry will bloom like before?
It will take many more years. Entirely depending on the pandemic situation.
Even 2000, do you expect that 2030 will bloom as before in 2030 or the next 2030? What are you